Why didn't previous Indian governments ever focus on indigenous arms manufacturing despite knowing the kind of fantastic, magnificent, wonderful neighbors we have? And do you think we're on the right path in terms of defense manufacturing? I think we are kind of on the right path. The Modi government has made a whole list of defense equipment that we are not allowed to import anymore, which means we have to rely on indigenous manufacturing, which is great, which is fantastic. It gives an impetus to indigenous manufacturers, and I'm sure we have good indigenous manufacturers. That's good. There's so much we can manufacture at home, which doesn't necessarily have to be very high tech. So that is good. Why haven't past Indian governments focused on indigenous arms manufacturing? I don't know who I was talking to recently. We have this fighter plane, right? What's it called? I was speaking to a wing commander recently. So we had the Maruth fighter plane developed in the 1960s by Kurt Tank, who was one of Germany's best aircraft designers, one of the world's best aircraft designers. So he designed this Maruth fighter plane for us, for India, and it flew. It participated in it, I think the 71 war at least, if not the 65 as well, but 71 definitely. The problem with the Maruth was that it was underpowered. Its jet engines were not powerful enough. The design was fantastic. If we had acquired a better set of jet engines and put them in the fighter plane, it would have been one of the best in the world. So we had that fighter plane, one of the best designs in the world. And what do our military planners do? They kill the project. If we had continued the Maruth program and turned it into a family of different kinds of aircraft, then by today we would have been one of the most advanced manufacturers of fighter planes in the world. Then the 1970s were what, 55 years ago, almost 55 years ago. So imagine what we could have achieved in 50 years based on that one initial design. We could have iteratively improved the design in a multitude of different ways and come up with various kinds of aircraft based on that one design. That's what we're doing right now with the Tejas. We're starting again from scratch. So why did this happen? Look, why does the Pakistan government ruin their nation despite having the option of not ruining the nation? Because they don't care about the nation. They are beholden to themselves and to their foreign benefactors. There are so many countries in the world whose governments willingly sell off the nation's sovereignty and resources to outside forces because the core government leaders have been bought out. Lots of countries in Africa, these dictatorships that are propped up by the West in Africa. So many little nations with dictators in power, and they will sell off their country's sovereignty, resources, mineral wealth, whatnot, to foreign nations in exchange for whatever they are given, kickbacks, whatever. So it is alleged that something similar happened in India in the past. You know what? So buy our equipment. Why do you have to develop all this from scratch? Such a difficult task. We have this stuff. Buy it from us, and we'll give you 10% or whatever percent, allegedly. That's how it used to work, allegedly. So that's allegedly why we are in the situation that we allegedly are in. Allegedly.